Jay here from I Wonder UK, day 35 of the Southwest Coastal Bath Challenge. Behind me is East Loo, where we finished off yesterday. Parked in a car park. I had a night home last night, which was lovely. Had a roast dinner, nice comfy bed, and now I've come back out to this again. I've got a short walk as planned today, just to ease myself back into it, and I'm just going to as far as Portwrinkle, but I think I'm going to get wet. I'll just give you a quick pan view. I'll try and pick up a few things in Loo, which is a nice little place to visit. As you walk through East Loo, take a look on your left hand side just after you sort of enter the town, as you've gone down the side of the harbour bit, and there's a pub on the left hand side, Ship Inn. Directly opposite there, there's a little alleyway next to an antique shop, and literally 20 minutes down there you pick up a freshly made sandwich. Absolutely recommended. If not, or as well as, you turn left at the Ship Inn anyway to start coming out to find the coastal path, and there's a little cafe called Daisy's, which I recommend as well. Been there several times, and it's, yeah, everything in there is great. Most of the way up the hill now out of East Loo, and just zoom in a bit, and I think that's over there, Seaton, and then round the corner will be Downderry. Once you've got some elevation as you come out of East Loo, just following this path round to a little beach called Minehead. And it's odd because in town, when we just left, it was dank and damp and miserable. You could actually feel the cold coming through my shirt. Coming up the top here, you can notice the difference. I mean, it's several degrees differences because you're out of the, it's not really windy, but out of the wind, and it seems to have stored the heat up. It literally wants to make you open your jacket up. It's weird. Path out of Loo, basically a mixture of tarmac and just easy walking. It takes you down to the little beach of Plaidy, P-L-A-I-D-Y, and drops to the right. Looks like you're going to go to the beach, take the immediate left, go back up the hill, and you're basically going, taking a shortcut through a house and estate, but yeah, not the sort of house and estate that I grew up on. And then keep following the path through to there, and you come out to little beach at Minehead. Look back to St George's Island. Looks a little bit different today, doesn't it? And a little bit of West Loo there for Minehead. Looks like a Isle of Alcatraz today, whereas yesterday looked beautiful, but something to do with that, I guess. From Minehead, you just keep going up the road past the houses, and eventually the road just runs out and goes into a path. And this time of year, got snowdrops all over. It's the 4th of April, I believe, and you are just literally gaining elevation all the way through. There's a couple of steps, and I do mean a couple, 3 or 4 at a time, and then a slope, a couple of steps, but you are just ascending. And it's that weird weather where it's not shining. I can feel a spot of rain every now and again, but it seems to be getting warmer, and just when I think I take my jacket off, my wind cheater, I feel a spot of rain again. So struggling with the debate of overheating or just getting wet. From Minehead, as you climb up through the houses, and then the track runs out, you actually start going through some woodlands, which is quite pleasant initially, but then unfortunately it comes out onto my favourite thing, dislike, hardly ever used, tarmac path road. Hedgerows on either side, 10 or 12 foot tall, so you don't even know where you are. Not my favourite thing. I know you've got to join it up somehow, but Thankfully, after not too long, there's a gate on the right hand side that you cut in and you go directly across the field. And while you're coming across, I know the weather's atrocious today, but you do get a view of St George's Island. And come around the corner, that's West Loop. You come across and then down through a couple of fields, and then you come out onto the path that basically zigs down the hill on more like a track that I associate with the coastal path. I'm sorry, I just don't like walking along roads. But then we get down, as we get down here, you can see we're getting closer to the sea, so we can start to see something on the coast again. Following that little path along the contour, the side of the cliff, so you can see the sea, all of a sudden there's a sharp left and you come into these pine woods that are fenced off, and then these sort of like a natural woods. I think I can see, if I'm not mistaken, further in that would be Seaton over there, which you won't be able to see, but I'll show you in a moment. Get your first real view of Seaton. Nice and calm there, but you see in the foreground now the river. Put centre screen now. Now going to left to screen. That river runs down to the sea, like all rivers do, but it's constantly going. Sometimes it floods because it can't get out to sea because the sea's trying to come in too quick. And I think there's a little cafe at the bottom that's flooded that out before now, a couple of years ago. You can see the problem. The river runs down the hill through the valley. Comes down here onto this side of the Seaton Beach Cafe, then has to turn sharply to go around the sea and get down to the sea. Well, if too much comes down through the valley, when it's high tide, it's got nowhere to go. And there's not much of a safety barrier there, perhaps a metre and a half. There's Seaton, and again over to Westlow and St George's Island from yesterday. The path's slightly ambiguous, so it could either go up the road, oh no, or follow along this sea wall. And the tide's not super high at the moment, so I'm going to take a chance and walk along this sea wall. I think it's only about a mile to Downderry, and then you come back off of it. It's not great in daylight today, but it is a good beach. Goes on for miles and miles and miles. Something I never noticed before, and I've been on this beach several times to be honest. Look at the vast change of colour. Got grey, brown, black, that burgundy colour, red stone. God, all the way along keeps swapping and changing. Not your typical sandy, oh look at that lovely beach, but don't know what happened there. Real contrast. I think that of the headland sticking out of the other end there must be Minehead, R-A-M-E, head, which is like the other side of Whitstone Bay, which I won't be going over till tomorrow. Like I said, first thing, I had 2 short days planned, so I had the luxury of a home visit. But yeah, Minehead, be out there tomorrow. But Whitstone Bay is another beautiful bay. We might touch a little bit on that today, but hopefully we'll see more of it tomorrow. And hopefully the weather's slightly brighter. Here's a closer examination of what I'm talking about. It may be boring, but it's PK interesting. Burgundy colour. Literally next to it, green. And then next to it going green with white stripes going through it. I know nothing about geology, but it does fascinate me, and I wish I spent more attention when I was at school. Didn't get on very well with geography and definitely didn't do geology. But throughout my life I wish I had known more about it. Maybe it's time now. walk along the sands here from Seaton to Downderry is lovely because the actual sand is not soft, so you're not sinking in, it's quite compact. And there's lots to look around at. It's not boring, you know, walking along like tarmac. I know that sounds silly, but you know, like the coloured stones on below your feet and the little rock pools and stuff, which I'm not going to explore today because the weather's not so great, but a lot more interesting than walking along the road. If the tide's out, walk down this way. Back to St George's and Lou, centre screen now. Wow, I'm so glad I made that decision to walk along the beach there from Seaton to Downderry. Yeah, I've still got my boots on and I'm not feeling the sand between my toes, but to be honest with you, even though I've only done a short walk today, I really wasn't feeling it. It's that funny weather, it's close, it's going to rain, it's not going to rain. I just wasn't feeling it, and that's just totally recharged my batteries. Just walking along there for, I think, about a mile maybe. Just, yeah, that sound crunching, nothing else, just a little bit of wind in there. Ideal. Right, I'm up into Downderry, see if I can get something to eat and onwards. Come up the beach at Downderry, sorry. You have to walk along the road for a little bit, but only a short while. There's a sharp left-hand bend and that big house, and the footpath starts there. It looks like you're going to be doing one of those contours where you walk along the side of the cliff, but it starts doing a little bit of zigzag, which they sometimes do to get a bit of elevation, but it just keeps on zigzagging. And there's looking down on Downderry now, and then Downderry's looking down on the sea from there, so that's the elevation we've got in the last 15-20 minutes. And looks like it's going to storm, doesn't it? Not sure, it's been threatening all day. Now the wind's just changed because it's been too warm. I've got a shirt and my wind sheet on and it's too warm, but I don't want to take it off because it keeps spitting as well. I don't want to get chilled. Anyway, we're on about there. Another quick view of Minehead, but I'm not going that far today, so that's always reassuring when you can see somewhere further than where you're actually getting to. A couple of miles to go still to Portwrinkle, but I just caught a glimpse as the sun cleared. Not this one centre of screen here, there, but just in the middle of the screen there. Sometimes you have to share the path, I get it, but what's the etiquette with 3 rams I'm looking, or I'm guessing at, or with horns? At the moment they're walking the same way as me, so not a problem. I need to run, guys, I'm not going to chase you. Oh, they're taking the left turn. It's all good, because I think I'm going straight on here. That's the way I'm going. See you guys. You. Oh, and you. And you. And you. See ya. Head bump. Come around the corner, there's more. About hear the waves, but that's all I can hear. It's definitely quiet down here. After you go in the elevation you come back down again, which is rather obvious, but it's just so quiet. I thought I'd actually gone deaf again. So quiet, just such a wind. Another nice little cove you'd have to go around with low tide and perhaps staying there overnight. Can't quite see to the bottom, but exclusivity. Lovely. And then looking around Minehead, but first sighting of sorry about that. The first sighting of Portwrinkle. This little village down there. Just give you a quick view. It looks like we're dropping right down this headland before we snake round the bottom and come back across here. But as you walk out from the cliffside again, you can see it all the way back to St George's. Just outside Lou. Look at that sky, moody. In fact, the whole picture looks really cool.